The desert didn't whisper that night. It warned. The wind carried a strange hum, a trembling sound that felt almost like a heartbeat beneath the sand. Travelers who passed through the Rajasthan borderlands often spoke about this place, a stretch of dunes so silent that even footsteps seemed afraid to echo. But on this rare night, the silence broke, because Destiny had arrived wearing dusty boots and holding a trembling lantern. She was a British traveler named Amelia Hart, wandering far beyond the tourist maps. Driven by a stubborn curiosity she had inherited from her archaeologist mother, Amelia had come searching for forgotten temples and unrecorded histories, but instead, she found herself lost after her jeep broke down miles from the last known village. Her legs ached, her throat burned, and her lantern flickered to its final breath. When suddenly, a faint saffron glow shimmered across the dunes, as if someone had painted fire on the horizon. She moved toward it, stumbling, collapsing, rising again. The air tasted warm with incense, though no one should have been out here. And then she saw him. A lone Siddharth Baba sat on a flat stone beneath a sky full of silver stars. His eyes were closed, his ash-covered skin glowing faintly in the lantern flames that circled him without burning. The wind bent around him as if he commanded the very desert. Amelia froze. She had read stories about mystics, hermits, saints who lived beyond the reach of civilization. But nothing prepared her for the presence of this man who radiated a strange, calm power. The sadhu opened his eyes slowly, and they glowed like embers in the lantern light. "You have walked into a place where only the lost or the chosen arrive," he said quietly, as though he'd been expecting her. I just need help," Amelia whispered, fighting to steady her voice. "I'm lost. My jeep broke down. I don't know where I am." "The desert knows," the sadhu replied. "It always knows before you do." Before she could respond, he lifted his hand toward the dunes. The sand shivered, actually moved, as though obeying an invisible command. And slowly, a small stone shelter emerged from beneath the drifting grains, ancient carvings glowing faintly in the night. Amelia staggered backward, speechless. "This place rises only for those who carry a question burdened by fate," he continued. "Now tell me, daughter of a seeker, what truth dragged you into a land where even shadows fear to wander?" His voice carried weight, like a drumbeat in the air. Amelia swallowed hard. "My mother," she said, "she died searching for a hidden shrine. Everyone said she was chasing myths, but she believed a guardian lived here, someone who protected ancient knowledge. I came to finish her work." The Sadhu Baba studied her face with a calm so deep it felt ancient. "And you believe I know that which you sought?" "I don't know what I believe anymore," Amelia admitted. "But when I saw your light, something inside me said, 'Follow.'" A faint smile touched the sadhu's lips. "Your mother was not wrong. There is a guardian. There is a shrine. And there are truths buried in this desert that the world is not ready to accept." He rose to his feet slowly. His movements were quiet, yet the air seemed to shift with him, as though reality adjusted to his presence. "Come," he said. "The night reveals what daylight fears." With hesitant steps, Amelia followed him into the stone shelter. Inside, the walls shimmered with symbols she had only seen in half-burnt pages of her mother's diaries. Spirals of stars, figures of wandering saints, a map of constellations intertwined with human destinies. Her breath caught. "This place," she whispered, "it's real. Everything she saw, everything she believed." "Your mother reached the threshold," the sadhu said, "but fate did not allow her to step inside. For that, it chose you." Amelia's pulse quickened. The air hummed as though the stones themselves remember her mother's footsteps. "But why me?" she asked. "Because the truth she sought was not meant for her generation," he replied. "It was meant for yours." The sadhu raised his right hand, and a faint golden flame appeared above his palm, floating silent, untouched by air. Amelia gasped, stumbling back. "This flame," he said, "is older than kingdoms. It remembers the first traveler who asked the first question, and it does not appear without reason." The flame brightened, casting dancing light across the ancient carvings. "You have come here believing you seek your mother's legacy," the sadhu continued. "But the desert does not bring anyone here for the reason they imagine." Amelia felt her heart pound against her ribs. "Then why am I here?" she whispered. The Sadhu Baba turned toward her slowly. "To reveal what your mother protected with her final breath. To uncover a truth hidden not in the sands, but inside you." The flame flared, and every symbol on the walls began glowing at once. The air thickened with ancient energy. Shadows twisted. Something beneath the stone floor trembled. Amelia's lantern finally died, plunging the shelter into a world lit only by the sadhu's mysterious flame. And the truth she was about to uncover would change everything she thought she knew. The golden flame pulsed like a living heartbeat, its glow washing over Amelia until she could feel it warming the center of her chest. She stood frozen, unsure whether to step closer or run. But the sadhu's voice, calm and deep as a desert night, held her still. "Do not fear what awakens," he said softly. "Fear only what sleeps too long." The carvings on the walls brightened further, shifting as if alive. What had been still stone now rippled like water touched by wind. Amelia watched with wide, trembling eyes as centuries of symbols rearranged themselves into a single flowing pattern, an ancient story written in light instead of ink. What is happening?" she whispered. "The shrine recognizes you," the sadhu replied. "It knows the bloodline of a seeker. It knows the echo of a promise." She felt the weight of those words settle heavily on her. "My mother made a promise?" The sadhu nodded slowly. She vowed to protect what she discovered, and she kept that vow until her final breath. Amelia's throat tightened. The loss of her mother had always felt like a door slammed shut. Now, in this hidden chamber, it felt like the door had never been closed at all, only waiting for her to touch it. The glowing symbols expanded outward, forming a ring of light around her feet. The ground beneath her hummed, not violently but with a deep, steady vibration like a distant drum. She felt something stir inside her, a sensation she couldn't describe, a pull of recognition, a connection she had never known before. "Why me?" she asked again, her voice shaking. "I'm not a sage or a scholar or some guardian. I'm just a traveler who got lost." "No one who arrives here is just anything," the sadhu answered. "Your mother spent years trying to unlock this place. But the shrine knew she was not the one it waited for." Amelia swallowed hard. "Waited for me? It has waited for someone who carries two worlds within them," he said. "Your mother's lineage and your father's. A bridge between histories." Her mind spun. She hadn't come here seeking identity, only answers. But the desert didn't care what she wanted. It had its own plans. The sadhu extended his hand toward her. "Place your palm upon the flame." She recoiled instinctively. "I'll burn." "You will not," he said gently. "This fire does not obey the laws of your world." Every instinct screamed for caution, yet something deeper pushed her forward, an intuition she couldn't explain. She lifted her trembling hand and reached toward the hovering flame. The moment her skin touched it, the world shattered into sensation. The flame didn't burn. It melted. Warmth flowed into her palm, spreading through her veins like liquid light. Her vision blurred. The chamber dissolved, replaced by flashes, images, memories, fragments not her own. She saw her mother standing in a desert storm, shielding a small leather-bound journal. She saw a younger Sadhu Baba, eyes brighter, sitting under the same stars. She saw a shrine buried beneath dunes, its entrance sealed by time. She saw a symbol, two spirals crossing, etched into the sand. Then she saw something far more intimate. A cradle, a pendant, a woman whispering a blessing over a newborn child, herself. Amelia gasped, stumbling back, the flame flickering violently before steadying again. What did I just see?" she asked breathlessly. "The truth your mother tried to show you," the sadhu replied. "She found this shrine. She unlocked its first secret. But she realized what it guarded was not meant for her." Amelia pressed her palm to her chest, still feeling the warmth. "What did it guard?" "A knowledge that could reshape the future," he said. "A map, not of land, but of destiny." Her heart pounded. The idea felt too big, too impossible. But nothing tonight had followed the rules of possibility. Why hide something like that in the desert? She questioned. Because only those desperate enough, brave enough, or foolish enough to wander into danger will find it. The sadhu replied with a faint smile. Such people respect what they discover. His expression shifted then, softening with something like sorrow. Your mother spent her life searching for meaning. She believed this knowledge could help the world, heal it even. But the shrine does not open for desire. It opens for fate. Amelia lowered her gaze. She died without ever telling me any of this. No, the sadhu said, stepping closer. She died trusting that you would one day stand where she could not. She protected the path so you could walk it. The words hit her like a wave of warmth and grief. Her eyes welled up, but she blinked hard, refusing to break. The desert did not feel like a place for tears. What do I do now? She whispered. You listen, he said. The shrine will speak when the heart is ready. As if summoned by his words, the ring of light around her feet brightened. The ground trembled gently, and a low hum rose from beneath the stone floor. The symbols on the walls rearranged again, this time into a spiral leading downward, a hidden passage. Amelia stared at it, breathless. There's more. There is always more, the sadhu said. But every truth has a price. Before you step inside, you must decide, do you seek the knowledge for yourself or do you seek it for the world? Amelia felt the gravity of the choice. Her mother had never been given such a question. Fate had taken the decision from her. But Amelia still had time. I don't know yet, she admitted. That is why the desert chose you, he said. Because only those unsure of their own greatness can be trusted with it. The spiral glowed brighter, revealing steps carved deep into the earth. Amelia took a slow, steady breath, her pulse echoing the hum in the chamber. She stepped toward the entrance, and something cold brushed the back of her neck. She spun around sharply. The flame flickered. The wind outside howled. The sadhu's expression darkened. You are not alone anymore, he murmured. Something else has awakened with you. Amelia's eyes widened in fear, and the shadows at the edge of the chamber began to move. The shadows rippled like living ink, sliding across the chamber floor with a whispering sound that didn't belong to any creature Amelia knew. The golden flame trembled in the sadhu's hand, as if recognizing an old enemy. Amelia stepped back instinctively, her heart pounding so hard she feared the chamber walls could hear it. What is that? She whispered. A memory that should have died long ago, the sadhu said quietly. But when you awaken the shrine, you awaken everything it once restrained. The shadow thickened, rising from the ground as though it had been waiting centuries beneath the stone. It formed no clear shape, no face, no limbs, just a swirling void that pulsed with energy colder than night. And yet Amelia could feel something inside it, a hunger, a longing. Do not run, the sadhu murmured. It feeds on fear. But Amelia couldn't help trembling. The air felt heavy, the room colder, her breath visible like winter smoke. She fought the instinct to flee, to turn back toward the world she understood, but the door behind them had vanished under the shifting stone. The sadhu's flame flared brighter, pushing the darkness back by mere inches. It was sealed here before your mother was born, he said. A guardian turned to shadow by greed and betrayal. It watched the shrine for too long, and solitude consumed its soul. Amelia's voice cracked. A guardian? Yes, he replied. But where guardians fall, curses rise. The shadow surged forward suddenly, and the flame bent as though gasping. Amelia stumbled, nearly falling against the glowing walls. For a moment, the darkness brushed her arm, and she felt a flash of cold memories that were not hers. Towering temples, desperate wars, a protector losing his purpose and dissolving into something formless. It wasn't just a monster. It was history undone. The sadhu thrust his free hand forward, murmuring ancient words Amelia couldn't understand. The flame exploded upward, forming a barrier of light that held the shadow back. But Amelia could see the strain in his face, the tremor in his shoulders. He was powerful, yes, but not endless. You carry the other half, he told her. The light he lost. You must call it. I don't know how, she cried. You do, he insisted. Your mother carried it. She passed it to you. It lives in the part of you that brought you here, without knowing why. The shadow struck the barrier again, harder this time. Cracks of darkness spread like fractures in glass. Amelia felt panic rise, but she forced herself to breathe, to remember the warmth she had felt when she touched the golden flame. She closed her eyes, pressing her palm to her chest. At first, nothing, just her heartbeat, rapid and uneven. Then warmth, a tiny spark, pulsing beneath her ribs. She focused on it, letting it grow. The warmth turned into a glow, and the glow into a pressure, like something inside her wanted to rise. The sadhu saw it and nodded. Good. Now open your eyes. She did. The chamber was blinding. Light radiated from her chest, golden and steady, echoing the flame in the sadhu's hand, but more intense, more alive. The shadow recoiled as it burned, folding inward like a wounded creature. Amelia felt the light surge through her veins, down her arms, to her fingertips. She lifted her hand. A beam of gold burst outward, striking the shadow full force. The shriek that followed wasn't sound. It was vibration, ancient and sorrowful. The chamber trembled as the darkness unraveled in spirals, breaking apart like ink washed from skin. But Amelia didn't stop. She stepped closer, her light growing brighter, her voice steady as she whispered, "You don't belong in the dark anymore." The shadow quivered, and for a brief moment, she saw something inside it, a figure, bowed in agony, eyes hollow with centuries of grief, a lost guardian, a keeper who had forgotten what he protected. And then, with a final echoing hum, the shadow collapsed into a plume of dust that scattered into the air and vanished. Silence flooded the chamber. Amelia swayed, exhaustion washing over her, but the sadhu caught her before she fell. His eyes shone with something between pride and relief. "You have done what no seeker before you could," he said softly. "You have restored the balance." She steadied herself, breathing deeply. "What happens now?" He raised the flame once more, and the walls of the chamber opened like waking stone. The spiral path below them glowed brightly, no longer threatening but welcoming. "You may descend into the shrine," he said, "not as a seeker, not as an outsider, but as the one it has chosen." Amelia stepped to the edge of the glowing passage. A warm breeze drifted upward from its depths, carrying the scent of ancient flowers, incense, and something strangely familiar, like her mother's perfume fading on old pages. "But if I go down there," she whispered, "will I return the same?" "No one who learns the truth returns unchanged," the sadhu replied, "but you will return stronger, and with the knowledge your mother died protecting." Amelia's hands trembled, but not from fear, from purpose. She took a step downward. The stone beneath her feet glowed brighter. The air thickened with an ancient hum. The sadhu watched her with calm certainty. "When you reach the heart of the shrine," he said, "your mother's final message will be waiting. And when you understand it, the world will no longer seem as small as it once did." Amelia felt her breath catch. Her mother, her legacy, her truth. With each step, the darkness below melted away, replaced by golden light that pulsed like the heartbeat of the desert itself. The shrine was awakening. The past was stirring. And Amelia Hart was walking straight into the destiny written for her long before she was born.